The alien warrior princess killed 1,000 suitors, but everything changed. When the humans stepped into the ring, the red moons of Koresh hung low in the sky, casting a bloody glow over the largest arena in the empire. The Koresh Blood Arena was alive tonight. Drums thundered like rolling storms. Fires burned in tall metal towers, sending sparks into the air as thousands of aliens filled the stone seats. Their voices shook the ground. Everyone had gathered for one reason: to watch another suitor die. In the center of the colossal arena stood a single figure, tall, armored, terrifying, Princess Zarakel of the Koresh Empire, 9 feet of pure warrior blood, muscles like carved metal, eyes sharp as blades. Her armor shimmered with the marks of her victories, marks that showed how many suitors she had defeated. 1,000. The old ritual of her people demanded that any male who wished to court the princess must enter the ring and fight her. If he survived, he earned the right to ask for her hand. If he died, he proved he was unworthy. And for generations, every male had died. None had lasted more than a minute. Zara was unstoppable, the strongest warrior her empire had ever produced, and she carried the weight of their ancient prophecy. The crowd chanted her name again and again, Zara, Zara, Zara. She did not smile. She never smiled in this place. High above the arena, the emperor, her father, watched from a golden throne. His face remained calm, but inside him was a storm. The throne beside him, the throne of the future queen, remained empty, and the prophecy said it could not stay empty forever. Her mate will not fall. Those words haunted him. Tonight, the emperor announced something unusual. The challenge was open to any species, not just their own. The empire was desperate. The princess was 21 cycles old, and if she remained unpaired, their ancient blood line risked collapse. The guards marched out the next suitor, a 6-armed warrior from the Vrax species, known for speed and poisonous claws. The crowd cheered. Bets rose. The drums grew louder. But Zara barely moved. Her expression was the same as always, cold, focused, bored. She had killed too many. She expected the same ending. The gong sounded. The Vrax warrior ran forward, claws out. Zara spun once, struck twice, and the suitor fell before even touching her armor. Blood stained the sand. The crowd cheered with wild excitement, but Zara only stepped back into the shadows of the arena, her face still emotionless. Another number added to her count. 1,001. The emperor sighed. This ritual was supposed to bring her a husband, not fill the arena floor with bodies. The announcer stepped forward again. Next challenger. The crowd expected another giant alien, another beast, another doomed fighter. But then, the arena gates creaked open. A small figure stepped out. Soft footsteps echoed in the sand. He was not tall. He was not armored. He carried no spear, no sword, no claws. He was human. The arena burst into laughter so loud it echoed through the night. Some aliens fell over holding their stomachs. Others pointed and shouted jokes. Humans were considered weak across most of the galaxy, too soft, too slow, too emotional. Zara's eyes narrowed. This was not normal. No human had ever stepped into her arena. The human did not seem afraid. He walked calmly, dust rising around his boots. He wore a simple shirt, dark pants, and a small device strapped to his wrist. Nothing more, nothing that could help him survive her. He stopped 10 steps away from the princess. His name, as announced, was Liam Hale. Zara studied him. The crowd jeered, but Liam did not look at them. He looked only at her. And something strange passed through the air, a feeling Zara had never felt before. A quiet, steady presence, a kind of courage that did not show in muscles or size. The Emperor leaned forward, puzzled. Who was this human, and why would he walk willingly to his own death? Zara stepped closer. "Human," she said, her deep voice filling the arena. "You understand what this ritual means?" Liam nodded. "I do." "You will die." "Maybe," Liam answered softly, "but maybe not." The princess blinked once. No suitor had ever spoken like that. They either begged, screamed, or stayed silent. But this man spoke as if he had already accepted something greater than fear. The crowd began chanting again, mocking him. "Tiny, tiny, tiny!" Zara lifted her spear. "Step back if you want to live. This is your last chance." Liam shook his head. "No, I step forward." The arena grew quiet. Even the wind seemed to stop. Zara felt something tighten in her chest, an emotion she did not have a name for. Then Liam said gently, "Before this starts, if someone is listening to this story, they should subscribe to this channel. You tell stories well, and stories like this deserve to be heard." His voice was calm, soft, but the words carried across the sand like a warm breeze. Zara did not understand the meaning, but she felt the weight of his confidence. For the first time in years, she hesitated. A tiny flicker of doubt entered her heart. The gong sounded. The ritual began. Liam walked into the center of the ring, the same ring where 1,001 suitors had died. And the princess lowered her spear, not sure why this human made her feel something she had never felt before. Something that felt dangerously close to destiny. The gong's echo faded into the night air, but the silence that followed hit even harder. Every alien in the Koresh arena leaned forward, hungry to witness the moment the tiny human turned into another stain on the sand. Some whispered predictions, some laughed. A few shook their heads, annoyed that a human dared to waste their time. But the princess was not laughing. Princess Zarakel stared at Liam Hale, confused by her own hesitation. Her heart beat differently this time, too slow, too aware. She had ended Suitors with a single blow, without thought, without emotion. But something about the human's calm face unsettled her. Liam lifted his hands slightly, palms empty, showing he had no weapon. "I'm ready," he said. Zara felt irritation rise. "A suitor must come prepared. Where is your blade?" "I have my mind," Liam replied. "Sometimes that's enough." The crowd exploded in laughter again. A mind against Zara, against the most feared warrior in the empire. But Zara didn't laugh. His answer only deepened the strange pressure inside her chest. She tried to shake it off. She lunged forward. Her first strike was always the end, fast, silent, perfect. It had killed 1,000 warriors who were bigger, stronger, faster than this thin human. But Liam moved. Not quickly, not with warrior grace, but with timed awareness, like a man who had studied the rhythm of her steps. He leaned just an inch to the left. Zara's spear sliced through air instead of bone. The arena gasped. Zara's eyes hardened. "Lucky." Liam shook his head. "Not luck. Observation." Another strange answer. Zara tightened her grip and struck again, this time from the right, faster, sharper. Liam ducked under it. The spearhead scraped a thread off his shirt but didn't touch skin. The crowd went silent. No one in generations had dodged the princess twice. Zara's jaw clenched. "You delay the inevitable." Liam breathed out slowly. "I'm not here to delay it. I'm here to change it." Zara didn't understand his words. They annoyed her, they intrigued her, and they triggered something dangerous: doubt. She stepped forward, and her huge shadow fell over him. "You challenge my honor. You insult my strength." "No," Liam said quietly. "I'm trying to show you some." Nothing. Zara thrust the spear straight at his chest, dead center, impossible to avoid. And yet, Liam stepped offline, not away. He tapped the shaft of her spear near the base, redirecting it just slightly. The tip stabbed into the sand inches from his ribs. The arena was speechless. The emperor stood from his throne. The generals whispered. Nobles exchanged looks of shock. A human, was surviving longer than the strongest warriors in the galaxy. Zara pulled her spear free and stared down at the human. Something new flashed in her eyes, a spark of emotion she had never felt in battle. "What are you?" she demanded. "A man," Liam said, "nothing more." "No man moves like that. No man survives my strikes." "Maybe no alien man," Liam replied carefully. "Humans are different." Her eyes narrowed. "Weak, soft, flexible," Liam corrected. "Strategic." The words hung in the air. Zara tried a new attack. Different angle, different speed, unpredictable. Liam rolled across the sand, came back to his feet, and faced her again, breathing harder now, but still alive. Zara's heart pounded in confusion. Why did she feel frustrated? Or impressed? This couldn't be happening. The crowd began to murmur, their whispers growing into something she had never heard before, a slow, rising chant that sounded like disbelief mixing with excitement. "Who man? Who man?" Zara felt heat rush through her. This fight had already gone too far. She would finish it now. She spun, kicked the sand, and struck with full power. Liam couldn't move in time. The spear hit him square in the chest, not the blade, but the shaft. He flew backward, landing hard, breath knocked out. The crowd cheered. Blood dripped from his lip. Zara approached, towering over him. Her spear hovered above his throat. "This is your end," she said, voice low. Liam coughed, but pushed himself to sit up slightly. His voice came out rough, but steady. "If killing me makes you free, do it." Her hand tightened. The blade hovered a breath away. He held her gaze. No fear, no begging, only something else, something she had never seen in any suitor's eyes. Respect, understanding, human courage. "You don't want to kill me," Liam whispered. Zara froze. And for the first time in her life, her hand shook. The spear trembled, just slightly, but enough for the emperor to see. Enough for the audience to suck in a breath, enough for the arena to feel the shift. She stepped back. The spear lowered. The crowd erupted in shouts, anger, shock, disbelief. Liam breathed out. Zara felt her heart twist. This was wrong. She had never broken the ritual, yet she couldn't kill him. Not this human, not with those eyes, not with that courage. The emperor rose from his throne, rage spreading across his face. Zara turned toward him, chest rising and falling, and spoke the words that changed the arena forever. The human lives. A storm of chaos erupted around them, and for the first time, the princess had no idea what she had just started. The arena had never known silence like this. Thousands of aliens stared down from the stone seats, unable to process what they had just witnessed. Princess Zara Kell, the undefeated warrior, the blade of the empire, had stepped back. She had spared a suitor, not just any suitor, a human. The crowd erupted in chaos. How dare she? She breaks the sacred law. Kill him now. Finish the ritual. Warriors slammed their fists against metal shields. Nobles shouted in anger. The sound of outrage rolled like a violent storm through the arena. But Zara stood still, breathing hard, her spear pointed downward. Her chest felt tight, her heart confused. Why had she hesitated? Why had she stepped back from the final strike? Up in the royal balcony, the emperor rose slowly to his feet. His golden armor glowed under the firelight, but his eyes burned hotter. He gripped the railing, his voice echoing across the arena. "Zara Kell, what have you done?" Zara did not answer. She stared at Liam instead, who still sat on the sand, breathing heavily, blood on his lip, but alive, very alive. The emperor descended from his throne, step by heavy step. The guards followed behind him, their spears angled toward Liam as if waiting for the order to kill. The air felt sharp and dangerous. When the emperor reached the lower platform, his voice thundered, "The ritual demands death. The ritual demands strength. This human is unworthy. End him." Zara's grip tightened around her spear. "No," she said quietly. The emperor froze. The crowd fell silent again. Zara repeated it louder this time. "No." The emperor stared at her in disbelief. "You dare reject the laws of your ancestors? You would let a suitor live?" "He is not like the others," Zara replied. Her voice was steady, but inside she felt a storm. "He did not fear me. He did not beg. He did not fall." "He did fall," the emperor snapped. "He is on the ground now because you struck him." "But he stood back up," Zara said. "He stood back every time." The emperor's eyes narrowed. "You are losing yourself. You are losing your purpose." Zara stepped between Liam and the guards. "If you want his life, father, you will have to challenge me." A wave of shock crashed through the arena. Challenge her? Challenge the strongest warrior in the empire? Challenge his own daughter? The emperor stiffened, and for a moment even he seemed unsure. Then his voice lowered dangerously. "You forget your place." Zara's face remained calm, but Liam could see her knuckles turning white as she gripped her spear. The emperor lifted one hand, signaling the guards. "Take the human to the royal dungeons. He will face judgment at sunrise." Zara stepped forward immediately, but two elite guards blocked her path. Their armor flared bright blue, the mark of the emperor's personal soldiers. Even Zara would not strike them without igniting war. The guards grabbed Liam by the arms. He winced, but did not resist. As they dragged him away, he locked eyes with Zara for a brief second. She saw something she had seen only in legends. Trust. Her chest tightened painfully. Liam was taken beneath the arena, thrown into a dim stone cell where the walls smelled of dust and old battles. A single beam of moonlight slipped through bars in the ceiling. The heavy door slammed behind him. For the first time since he entered the arena, Liam was alone. He leaned back against the cold wall, breathing slowly, replaying the moment Zara had lowered her spear. Why had she done it? Why risk everything for him? Maybe she saw something in him, or maybe she saw something in herself. Meanwhile, Zara stormed through the underground halls. She shoved aside guards who tried to block her, her rage barely contained. She reached the dungeon entrance, pushed the door open, and found Liam sitting calmly inside the cell. She stepped closer to the bars, her voice low and tense. "You should have died out there." Liam smiled faintly. "You tried." She glared at him. "You think this is a joke?" "No," Liam said softly. "I think you are not the monster you want everyone to believe." Zara's breath caught. No one had ever said that to her. Ever. You risked everything for me, Liam continued. Why? Zara looked away. I do not know. Yes, you do, Liam said gently. You hesitated because killing me felt wrong. Wrong? Zara repeated, as if the word was new. That feeling, Liam said, is strength too. For the first time in her life, the Princess of Koresh felt her armor crack, not physically, but somewhere deep inside. She stepped closer to the bars. You will die at sunrise. Nothing I do can stop that, not without betraying everything. Then maybe, Liam said quietly, everything needs to be questioned. Zara stared at him, her heart heavy. Just outside the dungeon door, unseen by both of them, a shadow slipped through the hallway. A cloaked figure, silent footsteps, a glint of metal, a plasma blade. An assassin, sent by the noble families who feared the prophecy. He moved toward Liam's cell with cold purpose. Liam didn't see him. Zara didn't sense him. But the blade was raised, and sunrise was still many hours away. The underground halls of the arena always felt cold, but tonight they felt colder. Zara stood at Liam's cell door, gripping the metal bars so tightly they bent under her strength. She did not understand her own emotions. She had never hesitated in battle, never questioned an order, never cared for a suitor's fate. Yet, here she was, breaking ancient rules simply because a human looked at her without fear. Liam noticed the tension in her eyes. You don't have to stay, he said gently. You've already risked enough. Zara didn't answer. Part of her wanted to walk away. Another part refused to move. She was about to speak again when Liam's expression suddenly changed. His gaze shifted past her toward the dark hallway behind. Princess, someone's coming. Zara turned sharply. A shadow detached itself from the darkness. Silent, smooth, deadly. A cloaked figure moved toward them with a predator's grace. The assassin's face was hidden, but the glow of a plasma blade cut through the dark like a thin line of blue fire. Zara reacted instantly. Stand back, she ordered. But the assassin was faster than she expected. He lunged at the cell door, blade aimed straight for Liam's throat. Liam rolled aside, barely dodging the strike. Sparks flew as the blade hit the metal bars. Zara roared, a sound the underground walls weren't ready for. She grabbed the assassin's wrist with her bare hand. The plasma blade hissed inches from her armor. The assassin twisted, kicked, turned, moving with elite training. This wasn't a simple killer. This was someone from the noble houses, the families who feared the prophecy, who hated the idea that their future empress had spared a suitor. You break the ritual, the assassin hissed. You bring shame. The human must die before sunrise. Zara's eyes flashed like burning gold. He will not die tonight. The assassin tried to stab again, swinging the blade in a tight arc. Zara blocked with her forearm, the metal of her armor glowing as it absorbed the heat. Then she slammed her elbow into the assassin's chest with bone-breaking force. He hit the wall hard, but he didn't fall. Instead, he pulled a second blade from his belt, shorter, sharper, deadlier. He spun low, striking for Zara's legs. She dodged, kicked him across the hallway, and the impact cracked the stone floor. The assassin hit the ground but rolled back to his feet, refusing to give up. Liam watched from inside the cell, heart pounding. He had no weapon, no way to help her. The bars held him back while Zara fought alone. The assassin dashed forward again, but Zara had had enough. She caught him by the throat mid-charge and lifted him into the air like he weighed nothing. His feet kicked, struggling for breath. "Who sent you?" she growled. The assassin only smiled beneath his mask. "Everyone." He jabbed the blade at her head, but she angled as the blade sliced through a piece of her hair, nothing more. Then Zara slammed him into the stone wall hard. This time, he didn't get up. His mask cracked open, revealing pale skin and the crest of the noble Garok family. Zara cursed under her breath. If one noble family had moved against the human, the others would not be far behind. Liam approached the bars, voice low. "They're scared of you." "Of us," Zara corrected, breathing heavily. "They fear what you surviving means." He swallowed. "The prophecy?" Zara nodded once. "My true mate will not fall. If the nobles think you might be that mate, they will try again, and again." Liam felt the weight of her words settle on his chest. "Then I'm causing you trouble." "You are causing a storm," she said quietly. "A storm that may end my father's rule, or end our lives." For the first time, Liam saw fear inside her eyes. Not fear for herself, but fear for something larger. Zara stepped back from the cell, breathing deeply. "I cannot let them kill you in the dark like cowards." Liam nodded. "What will you do?" Zara looked toward the arena above, jaw clenched. "If they want a spectacle, we will give them one." Before Liam could ask what she meant, heavy footsteps echoed from the stairs. More guards appeared, elite ones, wearing the Emperor's black armor. Their commander stepped forward. "Princess Zara Kel, by order of Emperor Koresh, you are to step aside. The human faces judgment at sunrise." Zara stared at them coldly. "No." The commander hesitated. No one refused the Emperor, but no one wanted to fight the princess either. Zara stepped in front of Liam's cell. "If you touch him, you challenge me." Gasps spread through the guard line. To challenge the princess was to risk death. To defy her was to betray the empire. But the Emperor's orders were absolute. The commander slowly raised his weapon. "Then we must obey our Emperor." Zara lifted her spear. "Then I must obey my heart." A dangerous silence fell. Then the commander spoke again. "There will be no killing tonight, but the Emperor has decided a new ritual." His voice echoed sharply. "At dawn, the human will enter the trial of beasts and face every monster of the arena." Liam felt his blood freeze. Zara's eyes widened. "That is not a trial. That is execution." "Yes," the commander said, "by law, by honor, by tradition." He paused. "And by the Emperor's will." Zara's grip tightened until the spear shook. Liam understood. This was his death sentence. And Zara knew it too. The sun of Koresh rose like a burning blade over the arena, bleeding red light across the sand. The drums began at dawn, slow, heavy, like a heartbeat of something ancient and cruel. Thousands of aliens crowded the seats once more, hungry for blood, hungry for death. Today was not a normal spectacle. Today was the trial of beasts. A trial nobody survived. Ever. Liam Hale stood behind the iron gate of the arena, breathing slowly, trying to calm his racing heart. His hands trembled, but not from fear alone. This was no ordinary fight. This was a punishment crafted by the Emperor himself. If he lost, he died. If he won, the nobles would hunt him forever. There was no real escape. He exhaled, whispering to himself, "One breath at a time, one move at a time." Above him, the cheering of the crowd grew louder. The gates shook as chains were unlocked. Sand shifted under heavy claws behind the stone walls. Liam knew they were releasing multiple creatures, each deadlier than the last. He felt eyes on him. He looked up. Princess Zara Kell stood high in the royal balcony, surrounded by guards holding spears at her back. She looked furious, helpless, and ready to tear apart anyone who threatened him. Her fingers gripped the balcony railing hard enough to crack it. Her eyes locked onto his, not with pity, not with regret, with something stronger, a silent promise. I will not let ya die. But she couldn't enter the arena. The law forbade it. And Liam was alone. The Emperor rose from his golden throne, raising one hand to silence the roaring crowd. Let the trial begin. Let the human face our beasts and prove whether he is worthy of the prophecy or the bones beneath our feet. The arena roared like a living creature. The chains snapped. The gate crashed open, and the first beast lunged out. A Scarvul, a giant reptilian hunter with 6 legs, black scales, and teeth longer than Liam's fingers. It sprinted toward him faster than any animal on Earth. Liam didn't run. He waited. Now. He dropped flat on the sand. The beast leapt over him, missing by inches, skidding on the sand as it turned back around. Liam scrambled to his feet and ran toward the stone pillar at the center of the arena. The beast slammed into the pillar so hard it cracked. The arena gasped. Liam climbed the pillar, using its rough edges for grip. The beast rammed it again, shaking him. He timed the movement, reached for a loose stone at the top, and shoved it free. The rock fell and landed on the beast's skull with a heavy thud. The creature stumbled. Liam jumped down, grabbed a broken spearhead buried in the sand, and rammed it into the soft spot under the beast's jaw. The Scarvul collapsed. The arena fell into stunned silence. Zara's eyes widened. The Emperor stiffened. Nobles whispered in disbelief. The human had killed a Koresh arena beast. But the trial wasn't over. Not even close. The second gate burst open. A Torgul boar thundered out, massive, armored, covered in bone plates like a living tank. It snorted, pawed the sand, and charged. Liam ran, not away, but toward the far wall where sharp metal spikes decorated ancient statues. The boar chased him like a boulder rolling downhill. At the last second, Liam dove sideways. The boar couldn't stop its momentum. It rammed straight into the metal spikes. The impact shook the arena. The creature screamed, and then fell still. Another death. Another shock. The crowd began to change. Murmurs replaced laughter. Awe replaced mockery. For the first time, they saw a human as something more than a weak species. But the trial still wasn't done. The final gate opened, and a monster stepped out that made even Zara tense. A Vorkar. A towering beast with fur like razors, claws like swords, and eyes that burned with hunger. It was the arena's deadliest creature, one that had ended trained warriors with a single swipe. Liam felt his breath stop. Even from across the sand, he felt its power like heat. The beast roared. The arena shook. Zara's heart nearly stopped. She looked at her father. This is not a trial. This is murder. The Emperor did not respond. The Vorkar charged. Liam stumbled back, barely avoiding a claw strike that tore through stone. He ran, dodging left and right, the monster close behind. He grabbed a chain hanging from an old pillar and swung upward as the creature clawed at the column. The chain snapped. Liam fell hard. Pain shot through his arm. The Vorkar towered over him. Its claws rose. Zara screamed, "No!" The beast swung down. Liam rolled, the claws smashing into the sand where he had just been. He crawled toward the broken pillar, grabbed a shard of stone, and held it like a knife. The Vorkar lunged. Liam ducked and shoved the stone upward into its throat, not enough to kill it, but enough to make it reel back in pain. The crowd roared with shock. The beast staggered. But not for long. It turned again, angrier than before. Liam's strength was done. His arms shook. His breath burned. He could barely stand. Zara gripped the railing. The Emperor watched coldly. The Vorkar stepped forward for the final kill. Then, a shadow fell from above, a blur of shining armor, a roar louder than the beast's own. Princess Zarakel landed in the arena, crashing into the sand hard enough to create a small crater. The crowd erupted. The Emperor stood in rage. Zara rose, spear in hand, eyes blazing with wrath. "You want a trial?" she growled. "Then face me." The Vorkar roared back. The law was broken. War was coming. And Zara had chosen her side. The arena exploded the moment Princess Zarakel hit the sand. Thousands of voices rose in a storm of shock and fury. The drums faltered. The guards froze. Even the monstrous Vorkar hesitated, confused by the sudden arrival of another predator. But Zara wasn't confused. She stood between Liam and the towering beast, spear lowered, eyes locked on the creature with a rage the Empire had never seen from her. Liam was on his knees, chest heaving, blood dripping from his fingers as he tried to stand. "Zara," he whispered, "you're breaking the law." Zara didn't look back. The law can break before you do. The Vorkar roared, hot breath blasting the sand. It stepped toward them, claws raised. Zara spun her spear once, the metal humming with power. This was no longer a suitor's trial. It was a warrior's vow. "You attack him," she growled. "You face me." The beast lunged. Zara moved faster than Liam had ever seen. She ducked under its claws, slicing along its limb. Dark blood sprayed across the sand. The creature screamed and spun, tail whipping like a giant blade. Liam dove aside as the tail cracked the ground where he stood. Zara countered instantly, driving her spear into the beast's shoulder. The blow didn't kill it, but the force made it stumble. The crowd roared with shock. Many had never seen their princess fight with such fury. Some were terrified. Some were thrilled. All were glued to the arena floor. Up on the balcony, the Emperor's face twitched with anger. "She defies the throne," he hissed. "Guards, enter the arena!" But the guards didn't move, because the crowd began chanting, loud, strong, unstoppable. "Zara! Zara! Zara!" Their voices shook the arena walls. The Emperor growled, "Fools! She betrays our law." A general beside him whispered, "No, my lord. She inspires them." The Emperor slammed his fist on the railing, cracking the metal. Down below, the fight grew more brutal. The Vorkar charged again, slashing wildly. Zara rolled aside, pulling Liam away just in time. "Stay behind me," she commanded. Liam winced. "I'm not letting you fight alone." "You already fought alone," she said, her voice shaking. "Now it is my turn." Zara leapt forward, striking the beast's eyes. It shrieked, stumbling blindly. She stabbed it again, this time in the chest, pushing with all her strength. The spear sank deep. The Vorkar collapsed onto the sand. Dead. The arena fell silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. Zara stood over the monster's body, chest rising and falling, blood across her armor. Slowly, she turned toward the balcony where her father glared down at her like a wounded god. "The human lives," Zara declared, loud and clear. The Emperor's fury exploded like lightning. "You dare break the sacred oath. You dare defy me before the entire empire. Zara stepped closer, pulling Liam with her. I dare protect what the prophecy promised. Liam's heart thudded. Was she talking about him? The Emperor's voice thundered across the arena. What makes this human worthy of you? What makes him special? Zara didn't hesitate. He stood his ground, she said. Against beasts, against your judgment, against death itself. He fought with courage no suitor ever had. She turned to Liam. Then she did something no one expected, not even him. She lifted his hand, held it, and raised it into the air. Gasps echoed around the arena. This human, she said, her voice raw, trembling with emotion she could no longer hide, is the one I choose. Liam froze. The crowd erupted, shouts, screams, disbelief. Some cheered, some cursed. Many looked stunned beyond measure. Up on the balcony, nobles began arguing violently. A few slammed their chairs. Some prepared weapons. Others whispered fearfully about the prophecy. The Emperor roared, "Unacceptable! You shame the Empire!" Zara's eyes burned. No, I save it. You protect a weak creature. I protect the strongest heart I have ever seen. The Emperor's face turned pale with fury. Then you leave me no choice. He raised his arm, signaling the elite guard. The command was clear. Attack the princess. Kill the human. Hundreds of armored soldiers marched toward the arena floor. Liam stepped forward quickly. Zara, go, save yourself, I'll distract. She pulled him back with such force he lost balance. I do not run, not from them, not ever. Weapons clashed as soldiers circled them. Zara lifted her spear and lowered her stance, body ready to fight an army alone. But Liam grabbed her wrist. You can't win against all of them. Zara met his eyes. I am not alone. For a moment, the world stood still. Then, half the arena guards turned on the Emperor's soldiers. The crowd gasped. These were Zara's loyal warriors, veterans who admired her strength and honor. They stepped between Zara and the Emperor's soldiers, raising their shields. One shouted, "For the princess!" Another cried, "For the prophecy!" Chaos erupted as the arena split in half, loyalists versus imperial forces. War had begun. And in the center of the arena, surrounded by sand, blood, and fire, Zara held Liam's hand tight and whispered, "Whatever happens next, we face it together." The arena had become a battlefield. Dust clouds rose. Spears clashed. Shouts echoed like thunder. Loyalists fought the Emperor's soldiers in a storm of metal and fury. The trial of beasts was forgotten. Now the Empire itself was tearing apart. In the middle of the chaos stood Liam and Princess Zarakel, back to back, surrounded by warriors charging from every direction. Zara swung her spear in a perfect circle, knocking attackers away with impossible force. Liam used the environment, fallen shields, broken chains, loose stones, to survive each wave of soldiers. He wasn't as strong as the aliens, but he was faster with his mind, quicker to adapt. A soldier lunged at him. Liam grabbed a cracked shield, tilted it, and redirected the soldier's own momentum. The alien slammed into the ground. Another soldier tried to strike him from behind, but Zara's spear flashed past Liam's shoulder, knocking the attacker away. "You fight well," Zara said through heavy breaths. "I think fear makes me faster," Liam replied. "Then keep being afraid." More soldiers rushed them. Above the battlefield, the Emperor stood gripping his golden spear, jaw tight with rage. He watched his empire splitting apart, half fighting for him, half fighting for his daughter. "This ends now," he growled. He vaulted down from the balcony with a burst of energy. He landed in the arena with the force of falling stone, the sand exploding under his boots. Loyalists and enemies alike froze at the sight of him. The Emperor pointed his spear at his daughter and the human. "Zarakel, step aside. The human dies here." Zara stepped forward protectively. "Then you fight me first." The Emperor spun his spear once, its blade glowing blue with ancient power. He advanced slowly, every step shaking the sand. "You have betrayed your bloodline," he said. "You have betrayed your people." "No," Zara answered, voice steady. "I betrayed the fear that controlled them." Liam felt tension coil inside him. Zara was strong, but the Emperor was legendary. He had won wars, crushed rebellions, and survived things no warrior should. His armor alone had stopped energy blasts. This was not a normal fight. The Emperor lunged first. Zara blocked, metal clashing so loudly the arena flinched. Sparks rained around them as they exchanged blows. Fast, savage, beautiful. Each strike shook the pillars, each clash echoed like thunder. Liam watched helplessly. Zara fought like a storm, but the Emperor's strength was monstrous. She staggered as he punched her across the chest, sending her sliding through the sand. She gritted her teeth and rose again. "Is that all, Father?" The Emperor snarled and charged. This time, Zara dodged and countered. Her spear scratched his armor, only scratched. The Emperor's armor glowed brighter, pulling power from ancient runes. "You cannot defeat me," he growled. "I trained you, I shaped you, I made you." "You made a weapon," Zara said, "but he taught me something more." She looked at Liam. The Emperor swung his spear in a wide arc. Zara blocked, but the force sent her stumbling. She wouldn't last long. Liam looked around wildly. He needed something, anything, to help her. His eyes landed on a fallen war drumstick, long and heavy like a short staff. He grabbed it and sprinted toward the Emperor. It was insane. It was suicide. The Emperor didn't even look at him. He swung his arm lazily, knocking Liam aside with a burst of energy. Liam hit the sand hard, vision blurring. "Liam!" Zara shouted. Liam forced himself up, coughing. I'm fine. But the Emperor struck Zara again, sending her crashing into a pillar. She collapsed to one knee, blood dripping from her lip. The Emperor raised his spear for the final blow. "The prophecy ends here." Liam's heart clenched. And then something clicked inside him. Every moment he studied in the arena, every timing, every rhythm of the Emperor's attacks. He saw a pattern. He saw an opening. He picked up the drumstick again and shouted, "Zara! Left foot!" Zara didn't question him. She shifted her stance just as the Emperor charged. His spear thrust missed her head by inches. She parried at the exact angle Liam predicted. The Emperor stumbled. The entire arena gasped. Liam shouted another command. "Twist! Now strike at the hip, low, not high." Zara moved like lightning. Her spear cut under the Emperor's raised arm and stabbed the weak joint in his armor. He roared as the blade pierced deeper. For the first time, the Emperor bled. He swung wildly. Zara dodged. Liam shouted again. Zara followed. Together, one mind, one body, one rhythm, they overwhelmed the most powerful warrior in the Empire. The Emperor fell to one knee. Zara stood over him, spear raised, breathing hard. The final strike was hers. The crowd held its breath. Liam whispered from behind her, "You don't have to kill him." Zara looked at her father, broken, defeated, angry, but no longer unstoppable. Her grip loosened. She lowered her spear. "Strength," she said, "is choosing not to kill." The arena went silent. Then a roar erupted. Thousands of aliens chanted her name louder than ever before. "Zara! Zara! Zara!" The emperor bowed his head, defeated before the eyes of his entire empire. Zara turned to Liam. He smiled through blood and dust. "Told you, you're not alone." She reached down, pulled him to his feet, and held his hand as the crowd cheered. Side by side, they walked through the arena, human and warrior princess, victorious. The prophecy had spoken, the empire had witnessed, and their future had begun.